Hey, everybody. Hi, good evening. How is everybody doing today, tonight, this evening? God is good. God is awesome. There is no other God like Jesus Christ, and we are truly grateful for one more evening in the presence of the Lord, for one more day that He has brought us through, right? We're so very grateful. God is so good. And so we're here one more day, one more time to fellowship in His presence. So very, very deeply grateful for your company. Remember to like, to share. We're just going to be sharing some tips tonight because, it is so strange. I was saying to somebody earlier that um, sometimes when I get these topics, I'm like, huh? Because they seem so weird. They seem so weird and way off until you actually have persons texting or calling to give their feedback and to say that they're actually going through or they've actually gone through similar experiences, right? So I am so deeply, deeply, deeply grateful for each week that we're able to come together here. Yes, no hairstyle or nothing. It has been a really, really hectic week, right? So Sunday I went to this church where I had to wear a hat. So I couldn't get any hairstyle Saturday. And then going into Monday, going into Tuesday, I was so very busy at the office. Left there hours and night. Hairstylist lock up and gone home. And today I was on a tour of St. Catherine, Clarendon. Right, I was doing some deliveries for the office. Right, so I'd prepared some packages for them, and then I had to go and deliver. So I was in Kellett, Clarendon, Cropsdale, back all over the place, Riversdale, Sligoville, Portmore, all over the place today. So it has been an exciting week. I will all know how Christmas go. When it's Christmas time, then it's all excitement. And like I was on the road yesterday, and a gentleman said to me, people spend when they not got people spend like them a fool when at Christmas time, which is really, really the case. So, I'm so very grateful each time you make the effort because no persons are busy putting up curtains and all of these things. And so, guys, because of what we're going to be talking about tonight, I'm going to ask you to share, to comment. Don't be shy. Say hi. Let persons know that indeed there is something going on this side. I'm going to ask you just to let me know it's on so we can make you know so we know so you're on and big you up. Good night again. Please reach out, like, share, host a watch party. Right, guys. Remember, if you're you're wondering what to do for Christmas in terms of those persons that are especially for the women in your life. Here we go. And we have the matching shirt, right? So in case you're wondering, remember, guys, we have the merchandise over here. Things that are very, very practical, right? If you prefer a shirt to go with we have it here. Let me can see, we have it here. So you have your bag and your shirt to go together, and they are at reasonable prices, right? Very, very practical gifts. And that same bag can go with this dress, right? Very, very practical gifts. Just to remind us that we are truly empowered. We just to remind us of who we are. See again, it's another style bag that can go with this dress as well. Right. So you really have no excuses if you're looking for practical, reasonable gifts. And this can go with this, man, this thingy, right? See there? And please, guys, just promote because, the thing has to go on. So we find different ways and means to make it flow. right? And while you're at it, this shirt, this mask, this mask, this bag, see? Right, we got you, we got you, we got you. So remember to get your merchandise, guys. Remember, so we're here to talk about loneliness during the Christmas season. Don't know how, yeah, I'm wearing my own shirt. So I don't know how many persons have experienced this kind of thing during this time of the year, but I know at least one person called me, so excited as I put out the topic that she was like the very, very first person to reach out to say, I struggled with this for so long, you know, and I'd really like to know what the alternatives are. And I struggled with it because for her, it was a romantic relationship. For other persons, it's not romantic, but there are other relationships that can severely impact you. And so it can cause this kind of, can have this kind of result. So this is one of the things that we want to be looking at tonight. What do the lonely do at Christmas, right? What do the lonely do at Christmas, right? So you tell me before I go into it. What are the suggestions for those who are lonely at Christmas time? Because we all take it for granted that Christmas time is a time when friends and family gather, so everybody is automatically set. Everybody have their own thing going on. And I remember year after year when I used to this song. Guys, you know I don't own any rights to any music here. This song here used to just break me up or break me down at Christmas time. It was such for a number of years. So this is where, are you able to hear it? To be jolly, but how can I when I have nobody? What do the lonely do at Christmas? Hear it? What do the lonely do at Christmas time? Right. So what do the lonely do at Christmas? Here this lady is describing her experience. She's describing how everybody else is having a whale of a time while she is lonely. No, 'tis the season to be jolly. But how can I when I have nobody? That's a question that she's asking. How can I be happy? How can I be jolly? How can I, especially in this season when we are on the local scene, persons are being told that there are greater restrictions for this season. So, as with so many other of the holidays, um, the COVID situation has allowed for us to be for a lot of restrictions to be in place, a lot of things to be implemented with the intention of curtailing the spread of the COVID virus, right? And so we have been hearing on the news that the limit of there is a greater limitation for the number of persons allowed to gather. So it's moved from 15 and it's now 10, and there are greater restrictions as it relates to the length of time. So we know with regular watch night service, the time has been greatly reduced. Then we know that for the Christmas, Boxing Day, all of these times, then the time has also been shortened. So especially when all of this is happening, COVID is happening, and persons, like for our family in particular, there is our relatives, there's always this grand gathering on Christmas Day. So you will have even persons who will come from overseas, right, as part of the family to gather together to eat, to drink, to vibe. So once you haven't seen anybody else all throughout the year, you know that on Christmas Day, once you turn up at that Christmas dinner, everybody will be there gathered. So in a case like that, when there are only 10 persons allowed in any given public space, then it all boils down to it basically saying stay at home with who is at home, right? So how is it then that if you do not have a family, you are a single person, you are widowed, you are divorced, right? Or whatever your situation would be, that would have you to be living on your own, what do you do? That's what we're asking. That's one. For those persons who fit into that scenario, what do I do during this Christmas season? Usually, I would go out with friends. Usually, I would go see family members. Usually, I would. So, all of these things, what are the alternatives? There's also those persons who are really, really very blue during the Christmas season. And this is because of the death of a loved one, recent, or for some persons, it is at a time that marks, it serves as a landmark, it serves as a reminder that somebody has passed that was very, very integral in the family, and especially at Christmas time. Probably it's a grandmother who was the center of things, who used to prepare the Christmas dinners, who used to have everybody around, and all of these things. Then there is that person who was in a romantic relationship, and that romantic relationship ended. And so the memories of Christmas past, the memories of those times when you used to be together, all of those are coming back in this time. It causes a sense of loneliness. It causes a sense of you know nobody, you know have nobody, right? And so that is what we're here to talk about tonight. What are the solutions? And I'm not going to be keeping you long. I'm just going to be quickly giving you some tips as to what to do. If there are any questions, I'll answer them. If not, then that's basically it. But there are persons who, as I said before, they have been living on their own for whatever period of time. Whether I know several persons who live on their own by choice, by the fact that by default, because children have grown, moved out of the nest, their romantic relationship broke down for whatever reason, their partner is no longer around. So that's one. There are other persons who have chosen also to go and live on their own because that is what they would want for themselves. They want to have a different setup. They want to experience what life is on being on your own. And so with all of these restrictions, as we pointed out before, they would have been left with the alternative of going to a family member, going to a friend's house, and all of that. Now, there are a lot of things that we can consider as alternatives for persons like those. Um, there are also the persons I mentioned. Like for me, as I came up, this topic came to me and I decided to explore it. I remember for years, like before I had a family, like got married and had a family. Because even when it was just me and my son and my daughter, most of the time I would spend Christmas alone. Yeah, I would spend Christmas alone. There was a point in time when I shared space with this couple, with this small family, because there was also a child. And so when Christoph and Gabriel would go off for Christmas, because they would most times go spend time with my mother and my sisters, then I would be at the house with these guys. Outside of that, I would be on my own. So when we moved, now we're living on our own. So just the three of us. They would go off and I would be in my house by myself, right? Because I would send them off because I wanted to ensure that they had a good Christmas dinner. I couldn't afford it. So I would stay there and probably eat some porridge or some oats or whatever, and I'd be good. right? And a lot of times, because I would usually be around people, around people at work, I was around people at church, I was continuously, constantly around people. And believe it or not, I'm an introvert, right? I'm very, very introverted, and I am rejuvenated in my own space. So when you say I'm low, 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 and I'm almost out, just give me some of my own company, and I will bounce back. That juices me up, right? So I would be there by myself because I'm good by myself. So me just eat little oats or eat little porridge and me just good, right? Steam some white rice and oat my can of mackerel, and Christmas for me is fine. Persons will pass through and they will say hi or whatever. So there were no gifts. There was no tree. There were no real traditions, right? That was it for Christmas. And I would be fine. And persons will ask you, all right, what are you going to cook? What are you going to eat? And all of these things. But I'll be fine. But I also had liberty because these restrictions were not in place. That if I changed my mind and I decided I could just go, just turn up at somebody else because they am going for food at Christmas. People always have food, right? And so this was it for me for a long time. But then Christmas was just a sad season because I remember, and one of the things that made Christmas so sad for me, no matter what happened, yeah, as children, we know that we used to get at least one gift. One gift. We stay up the whole night because we hear that Santa carry it come. So we stay up the whole night to wait for Santa come. And no matter we buck, we ball, no matter what, Santa does not come. And we hear say, go to your bed, and as soon as you go to your bed, Santa will come. And trust me, you buck, you stay up, you do everything, and Santa does not come. So you finally go to your bed. When you wake up in the morning, there is a gift, right? So there was a point in time when there was a tree and there were gifts and all of that, right? But as I got older and things got more complicated, and I got involved with this man that you know about, over following all of the other lives. And so as we got together, I remember one Christmas, because I was still a teenager, I was still a student. So I started going to the country for Christmas, right? And I remember this particular Christmas, me so in love. I'm so in love. Take up myself from Clarendon because Christmas normally nice, no food down there and no excitement and all of these things. But me so in love this Christmas, I take up myself from Clarendon, decide that I'm coming up Boxing Day because I'm coming to spend Christmas, right? Merry Christmas, sister. Berry night tonight. Yes, yes, no hairstyle. So I decided to leave and come. When I come up, I'm thinking that this gentleman was so in love like me. No love at all. Him already made Christmas plans, thinking that I was away. Right? So for a number of years that was left with me. So that Christmas I had to spend all on my own. Right? Stuck with not being with the person that I thought was the person, right? And so I know that there are a lot of persons who are having issues with memories of the past, relationships that broke up during that season, persons that have died, children that have moved on, various scenarios that would have you impacted, that would bring a sense of deep loneliness, right? But if anything, I cannot speak for the other countries of the world, but I know for Jamaicans, Christmas is a big deal. So if somebody ever know, if people will borrow money to cook Christmas dinner, because then just have to have piece of oxtail, just have to have some curry goat, have to have gungo rice and peas, must have sorrel, and must can buy one Christmas cake. So traditionally, Jamaicans for Christmas is such a big deal. So if you can find somebody and you say to them, look here, me not have no dinner. I'm going to be alone. Even though the restrictions are that it's 10 persons, somebody will make your number 10 because they're going to squeeze and squeeze you in and ensure that you have Christmas dinner, right? So it is that depression is a real thing. And when you get in that mode of depression, you really don't want to interact with anybody. You don't want to go nowhere. You get so caught up in all of these things. But I'm saying to you tonight, right? Especially for those persons who are saved, there is room for you somewhere, right? If you're not able, because there are some persons who are not able to leave their personal space, but if you live on your own, there are options. For those persons who can, some persons are very introverted. And some people like me used to say, me no like beg. I mean, like take up on certain offers. So like persons would have asked me, are you okay? And I would know me I go eat some oats. Me I tell them, say me okay Christmas Day. So if you recognize that you're home and this thing is really coming upon you, call one of these persons, somebody where you feel comfortable enough around, right? And just come out of yourself a little bit and ask them if you can still come over. For a number of years, I don't cook Christmas dinner. See my sister there. Yeah, she love cook big pot. So I don't know if we're going to do all this year because spare big pot of cook a foreign, right? And we can't fly out. Right? So for a number of years, I will wake up and I will do a big breakfast. But in terms of dinner, we can't bother with the stress. Right? So this year it's going to have to be different because they can't turn up a people's yard. Luckily for me, my family is not very, very fussy as it relates to whatever I say I'm preparing. They are fine, right? As long as we wake up in the morning, everybody's together, everybody have gifts. That's a big deal for them for Christmas. So I'm saying to you, if there is an invitation for you to come over, for you to don't lock up yourself in your house and say, boy, you're not beg and you're stressed out and you can't bother and every year you're just lonely and you can and you sit down and start reminisce and days past and people who get married and how long you and wait and nobody now come your way. That thing the enemy plays on our minds. So bear that in mind. Don't sit at home and have all of these things going over in your head. Take up your phone and call or text somebody and ask them if the invitation is open and go before 7 o'clock. Go with enough time so you can come out of people in house, leave and get taxi or drive, go home before 7 o'clock when curfew. Well, it's 3 o'clock as a matter of fact. 3 o'clock, right? So it's not 7 o'clock on those days, 3 o'clock. So one, take up the invitation. You get an invitation, accept the invitation because you know that you're going to be alone at this time of the year, and this time of the year is not your best time of the year, right? So nobody will sit down and stress out yourself and do the same thing that you did last year. We are on the path of growth. So the things that we do before that we know that are not good for us, we're not continuing down that road, right? We're making that commitment. We're not doing the same thing. So here it is that we're here for solutions, not reminiscing and carrying on with the same thing over and over and over. So that's one. Get the invitation. There are some persons also who the majority of their family members are overseas. Know that this thing that we have here called social media is very, very, very powerful. Set up a Zoom or a Skype call. Talk to the people them over there. FaceTime them while you are moving about in your house. They are overseas preparing meals. You are on this side preparing meals, right? Do nothing. Interact with your family. Play your Christmas carol. Same way. Drink your sorrel wine. Eat your whatever it is. If you don't want to cook, go buy food on road. Buy it before. Buy fancy food then and prepare whatever it is that you want to prepare, right? Because this is the age that we're in. We're in the virtual age. So make use of it. And as a matter of fact, even if we were able to do face to face, you have to come home by 3 o'clock. So what do? Right? Put on a movie. Them are watching the same movie, you are watching the same movie. Put it on and utilize that ability to socialize, even if you're not in the same space. Right? Don't sit down and ball who they're foreign and oh you know no visa and from when you are try and embassy turn you don't go much time and oh them wicked and if I never don't bother with it. We're in that space of gratitude. utilize what you have. So you have a computer, you have a phone, you have a tablet, whatever it is, download Zoom. Use it. Use whatever it is that you can interact with your family members overseas or your friends. Do that. Host it just like how you host your birthday party or any other thing. Interact with those persons, right? One of the things that I also used to do in Christmas time, because we just really, if I'm not spending time with myself, back in them time, then we never have all of this, right? One of the things that I would do is that I would volunteer to go into the community, because I served in an inner city community then, right? I served in the inner city community. So what I would do, I would begin from months before. I would ask persons for used clothes, food items, any of these things that they have that they want to clear out, and they clear out their houses, and I would go through them and make packages, and I would go through the community and give out packages to persons. So I don't have no time for depressed. I don't have no time for down. I don't have no time for um in the mirror and all about me. Me I walk up and down in the community and go vibe with the people them, and so you stop at somebody yard, so they ask if you want like a sorrel. And so you stop at one next person here, they ask if you want a piece of cake. And you go next to somebody here, them a fry 2 chicken leg, and you take out one out of pot. Because this is how I would interact with these persons. So I would go through, by the end of the day, when 5 o'clock, me just a go home, and when I go home 5 o'clock, me tired. And me I go home 5 o'clock tired and my belly full, right? So I had no time to sit down and focus on my issues, because I made it about somebody else. So even on that day, nobody never knows I have nothing for cook. Nobody knew that I was alone. Where put it in there? Then Ghana, then Granny, right? I didn't have to explain to anybody that, look here, me never have nothing for give them, and me never want this, and me never want that. Them dead and grandmother, right? It's plain and simple. And I would just pack these bags, I would make these packages, and I would walk through the community. So that's another thing that you can do. You can volunteer. You don't have to make it all about you. And these things, depression, suicidal thoughts, all of these things have root in the fact that we're turning our attention on the inside. It is appropriate, but for appropriate times. You can't sit down and be having constant dialogue with yourself. And if you're having dialogue with yourself, then you must monitor your thoughts. You must monitor your thoughts. You must monitor what you're saying. You must monitor what you're doing. You cannot just sit down and allow thoughts to be playing out in your head. Get up. If you are not able to do it, and this will be a last minute thing for you, pack something out of your own closet. If you have 10 dresses, you can sow 2 as a seed. My children used to have it with me, because I used to say to them, look here, go through your things, because I'm going through my things. Christoph, you go through your things. Gabriel, you go through your things. Give me something, come here, carry them, go give way. Because it is always that I'm saying there is somebody who is always more or less, well, less fortunate than us. And I would tell them that constantly. So that's, I'm sorry. So that's one, enjoy your own company if you can, like me. 2, take up the invitation. Somebody asks you, you know you don't have it, take up the invitation. Go. Spend till 3 o'clock and then come back at your house. Right? So that's one. Enjoy your own company if you can. If you like your own company like me and don't have a problem with it, stay at home and enjoy your own company, and count your company as good company, and count your company as a blessing, right? Don't despise your company and think, well, oh, unfortunate you are, and oh, you're salt, and oh, your life now gone away, and nothing now gone for you. Don't bother with it, right? So enjoy your own company. Secondly, take up the invitation. Thirdly, you can host your own Christmas party online. So you can do your own virtual Christmas party with those who are local or overseas, whatever it is. Build a little vibe and play your music and do your thing. That's number 4. Number 5, go volunteer. Go to road and go serve other persons who are less fortunate than you. I used to plant trees and I never have a dollar. I plant trees by begging and prepare packages and hand them out. Take out things out of my own closet, take out things out of what I have, package them, and went out and gave them away. There was like Christmas, like probably about 4 Christmases now. Well, not this one. I would select some time. If the children are still in school, I would take them out of school one day if it not kill them. Sorry. I might not be the best mother here, but I used to take them out of school and I went with them to volunteer at Mustard Seed. Yes. So I would go and volunteer at Mustard Seed. That's another thing that I used to do. Right? But for you, do it. To find something to do. So those are things that you can do during this season, right? These are things that you can do to ensure that you don't sit at home and are broken and depressed and overcome with all kinds of thoughts. One another thing that you can be very, very efficient in doing is sitting down from now. Use Christmas Day to do something for yourself. Something that you've always wanted to do and you have been too busy. Remember, give that gift to yourself. This is a day that you have for yourself. Do something. Sit down, and I'm telling you about any New Year's resolution. Write down your goals for 2021. Take a calendar on Christmas Day. So even if you want order pizza from overnight, and warm it up Christmas Day. Your Christmas don't have to be merry or not merry because you don't have the traditional Christmas food. Buy a pizza, sit down and do something on that day that you've always wanted a day for. So you've been at work continuously and you're saying to yourself, you want a day, you want a day, you wish you could have get a day. Take that day instead of sitting down and moping, instead of sitting down and thinking about how unfortunate you are. Sit down on that day, right? Sit down and go through, evaluate your life, decide on what you want to do, evaluate, go back through, think about what you have done throughout 2020, what you want to improve in the new year coming. All of these things, that is a day that you have full 24 hours that you have to take a few hours from and plan your life going forward. It make a vision board, whatever it is, set up something, a project that you've always wanted to do but you've never had the time to do. Use the time wisely, utilize that day. It is another day. When you get a nice bottle of wine, if you are a wine person, whatever beverage suits you, get it. Get a nice glass. You know what you want. Buy one nice, pretty, fancy, sexy glass. Chill your wine, right? If you have a ice bucket, set it up. Bathe. Put on some nice perfume. Put on one nice dress. Go do your hair. Fix up yourself. Don't allow yourself to be dragging all over. Take that day for yourself. Buy yourself a gift. Buy yourself a gift. Nothing is wrong for you to gift yourself. Buy yourself a gift. Open that gift. Wrap it and unwrap it on Christmas Day. Celebrate yourself. At the end of the day, brethren, there is that one person that you have to live with, and that is you. And I mean, yes, it is great to have company. Yes, it's great to have great company. But if you are not able to see yourself as great company, then we are still in problems, right? We are still in problems. You are a great person. You are great company. You are able to keep your own company. You just have to put a positive spin on it, right? Plan what next year will be. So now that you know that you're moving to another level And this is a new you, and you're going forward differently. Plan what you're going to be doing for next year. So, what do the lonely do at Christmas? The lonely enjoy their own company. The lonely say yes to an invitation to go somewhere to spend time with people. The lonely can also host a virtual Christmas party, whether with persons who are local or persons who are overseas. The lonely also can volunteer, or the lonely can take the time to do something practical, something efficient, and something worthwhile on that day, right? And as a matter of fact, we have Christmas Day, we have Boxing Day, and we have New Year's Day. So that's 3 days that you get to utilize, that I will have to be washing dishes, extra dishes, because I'll be home with family, and I will have to be cleaning up after everybody, freshen up bathroom. Think about it, man. Every life has its perks. So while you don't fresh up and put up your nice, I will have to be walking behind everybody and say, fix back that, move that, you put that over there, so you don't have to do that. So I have the laughter and all of this going on live, face to face. So when you don't have to go into your bathroom and open the lid, and when you look, something is waiting for you in there because you are all by yourself. There is a bright side to every situation, right? And I'm asking you to utilize what you have. We don't know what next year is going to be like. We don't know what next year is going to bring. But for now, we're right here, and what we have is the gift of today, the gift of now. So even if all of the Christmases that you have experienced so far has been very, very depressive, have been very, very sad, have been having suicidal thoughts. This year, 2020, has been such a phenomenal year that you simply cannot afford to walk the same path and to relive the same script. So this year, we're going to be doing things differently. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, to contact me here, to send me a direct message to say how you spent your holiday differently. As a matter of fact, if you have any ideas where I can steal out of my house and get some me time, I would be glad to take that advice, that counsel. And remember, guys, if you're looking for a worthwhile gift, something, right? So if everybody is overseas and you don't have anything, you're not getting a gift. Come on, here it is. Here it is. Get something that speaks to you and speaks to everybody as to who you are, right? Here we go. That's a full set. Very, very reasonable price. Here's another design, and with something else to go. Here we go. So we have, treat yourself this Christmas. You can't sit around and mope. We're in a different season of life. We're in a season where we're no longer alone. We're a community, right? And we are here for each other. And so, guys, I'm going to be bowing out tonight. Remember, I told you that I would not be keeping you for long. So I'm bowing out tonight. God bless you. I love you. Thank you one more Wednesday evening for the challenge to come on here. It's always a blessing. Father, tonight, bless your people. I'm asking you, God, just to cover them underneath your blood. Wrap them in your arms tonight, Jesus, and grant them the desires of their hearts in this season as we give you praise, as we give you thanks in Jesus' wonderful and blessed name. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. Remember to still share, right? For anybody that you think will benefit from the information, please go ahead. Feel free to share. God bless you guys. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of the evening.